All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started with our notes for this week. So this week we are looking at multiplying and dividing rationals. So I've done this in two different videos. So in this video, we are just focusing on multiplying rationals. And remember, rational, guys, is just another name for fractions. So essentially, we're multiplying fractions, okay? So what I would do right now, I'd pause the video and go ahead, copy down what you see. So then when we get started, you're not behind trying to catch up here. So looking at our material here, some of you are probably looking at this first problem and you're starting to get a little bit intimidated because there's so much here. But here's the thing, all the stuff that we've worked on the past 2 weeks, so finding the greatest common factor, factoring, expanding things out, canceling like terms. These are the skills you guys have worked on the past 2 weeks and you're doing really well with it, and we're doing these exact same thing this week, except for instead of now just simplifying one fraction at a time like what we did last week, now we're going to be combining two fractions and simplifying them together. So it's really exactly what we did last week. Instead of just looking one fraction at a time, now we're looking at two. Okay, so again, please make sure you've paused the video and written this down. And then let's go ahead and get started. So just like in the problems that we did last week, okay, we want to look at this one part at a time. And so my first step is to simplify by going in order. So looking at these kind of 3 steps here. So I'm going to focus on just this top part. So the x squared minus 36. And I want to kind of go through these steps. Okay, is there a GCF here? Nope, no GCF. Can I factor this? Yes, I can factor this one. And if you're noticing x squared minus 36, remember this one's missing that middle term. So I could even rewrite this as x squared plus 0x minus 36. This is essentially the same thing here. So when I go to factor this, I can factor this into what multiplies to get me negative 36. That will add to get me 0. And so thinking through those options here, we should be getting negative 6 times 6. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this top part. I'm going to bring it all the way down here. I'm going to rewrite x squared minus 36 as x minus 6 and x plus 6. So exactly what we've been doing for the past 2 weeks. All right, now I'm going to go to the bottom. So now I'm ignoring all this other stuff, and I'm just looking at the bottom. X squared minus 3x minus 8x. All right, go through our steps again. Do I have a GCF? Nope. Can I factor this? Yes, I can. So I'm going to go ahead and set up another t-chart. What multiplies to get me negative 18? That will add to get me negative 3. And here we should be getting negative 6 and positive 3. So in the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this as x minus 6, x plus 3. Okay, so that was my first fraction. I went ahead and I rewrote it. Okay, now I want to look over here at my other fraction. So I'm going to go ahead and put my multiplication symbol here, and I'm going to make my other fraction. And now we want to, again, we're still in this simplifying step. So I want to take a look. 2x plus 6, is there a greatest common factor here? Yeah, there is. Between 2x plus 6, my GCF here is 2. And when I divide that left, I'm left with x plus 3. So 2 divided by 2 got me 1x. 6 divided by 2 got me 3. Okay, now look at the bottom. Same process again. X plus 6. Do I have a GCF? Nope. Can I factor this? Nope. And I can't expand it, okay? Meaning like x to the third. I can't write out a bunch of x's. So this one I can't do anything with. I'm going to go ahead and leave x plus 6 by itself. All right, that was step 2. I rewrote it. So here was step 1, was all this simplifying here. This was step 2, where I rewrote it. And now step 3 is to cancel my like terms top to bottom. Okay, now here's the thing, because this is multiplication, I can actually put this all together as one fraction. This is all the same thing. So if I have something over here, I can actually cancel it with something down here, okay? So once you're multiplying, it actually all goes together. So let's take a look here. X minus 6. Do I have any X minus 6 in the bottom? Yep. So I can go ahead and cancel those. All right, X plus 6. Yep, I've got one of those in the bottom, so I can go ahead and cancel that. I don't have a 2 in the bottom, but I do have an X plus 3, so I can go ahead and cancel those. So canceling like terms top to bottom, my last step is to look at, okay, what's left over? And all that's left over is this 2. So 2 is my final answer there. All right, we've got 2 more problems we're going to look at. So go ahead and maybe pause the video again and write down these 2 problems. All right, I'm going to go ahead and again go through my steps. So part by part, I'm going to go ahead and expand this out. So x squared, I do not have a GCF. It's not something I can factor, but I can expand this out. So I'm going to leave myself some space right here because I can see I'm going to have to factor later and do some other work. So I'm going to go ahead and skip down here. So x squared, I can go ahead and rewrite this as x times x. So I can expand that out. Let's look at my denominator, 4x plus 8. This right here has a greatest common factor of 4. 4 goes into both terms there. So then to figure out what's left, I want to divide. 4x divided by 4 will get me x, and 8 divided by 4 will get me 2. Again, I'm multiplying. And now I want to take a look at x squared minus 4. Go through your steps. Do I have a GCF? Nope. Can I factor this? Yes. And hopefully you're recognizing, again, we're missing that middle term. So this is the same thing as x squared plus 0x minus 4. So when I go to factor this, I'm multiplying to get negative 4 and adding to get 0. Hopefully you're thinking negative 2 and positive 2. So up top here, I can rewrite this as x minus 2, x plus 2. All right, in my denominator, I don't have a GCF and I can factor this. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my t-chart. What multiplies to get me negative 16, that will add to get me 6. So thinking through these options here, we would want a positive 8 and a negative 2. That's what will work for that scenario. So in the bottom, I can rewrite this as x plus 8, x minus 2. Now, if you're looking at your work and you're like, wait a second, where in the world did she get this stuff? Rewind. Make sure you have this all written down, but just rewind to the beginning of this problem and just watch. Sometimes you need to just watch the work and not have to write and work if you're confused right now. Okay, so we rewrote it. Now our job is to cancel like things top to bottom. Now remember, we're multiplying here, so I can combine this all as one long fraction. Okay, so top to bottom, x's, plain x's, not groups. Right? We're not looking at groups. I don't have any plain x's in the bottom, right? These x's are included with the 8, the negative 2, and the positive 2. So I can't do anything with my x's. I'm going to leave those alone. But x minus 2, I can go ahead and cancel that. And I can cancel x plus 2. So now I want to go ahead and rewrite my answer here. Up top, I'm left with x times x, which, let's put this back together, is x squared. And the denominator, I'm left with 4 times x plus 8. And this would be my final answer. All right, last one, we're gonna go ahead and look at number 3, and this one has a little bit of a different way of simplifying here at the end, okay? So make sure we really follow along on this one. All right, number 3 here, again, step by step, go through them. I have a GCF here. Take a look. I've got x to the 3rd, and I've got x squared. So they share 2 x's in common that I'm going to go ahead and bring out front. And I'm, again, going to leave myself some workspace here. So I'm going to bring it all the way down here. So x squared is my GCF. Okay. And then I'm left with x plus 2. Because all I did was I took those two x's on the outside. All right, taking a look at my denominator, I've got 6x. I can't really cancel this at all, okay, or expand this all out, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this just 6x. We are multiplying x squared minus 49. Hopefully you're recognizing this is x squared plus 0x minus 49. So when we set up that t-chart of what multiplies to get us negative 49 and adds to get us 0, that would be negative 7 and positive 7. So up top here we can rewrite this as x minus 7, x plus 7. Looking at this one right here, we can go ahead and factor this one as well. What multiplies to get you 14, that will add to get you 9. For this one, we would do 2 times 7. So in the denominator here, I can rewrite this as x plus 2, x plus 7. And again, remember guys, this is all one fraction. This is all one fraction. So I can go ahead and put this all together and simplify it like it's one big fraction here. So x plus 2's are the same on top and on bottom, and x plus 7's are the same on top and on bottom. I want to look at one more thing, but I'm going to rewrite this here. X squared, guys, this is really the same thing as x times x. I also have an x minus 7 left up top. And in the bottom, I'm left with 6x. Hopefully you're seeing something here that we can cancel. Take a look at the stuff on the outside. So if I highlight this real quick, take a look at this stuff on the outside. This is what I'm talking about. So the stuff not in parentheses. Is there anything else that's the same on top and on bottom? And hopefully you're recognizing there's an x on top and there's an x in the bottom that I can cancel. So we can actually go one more step here that we couldn't go here, right? I couldn't simplify my x's because I didn't have any more on the outside, on the bottom with this one. But I do here. I can cancel these and get rid of those. So my answer, fully and completely simplified, would be x times x minus 7 over 6. And this right here would be my final answer. All right, guys, take the time, make sure you've got these notes written down. Again, if you got stuck on a problem anywhere or got confused, go back to the beginning of the problem and just watch, okay? Sometimes it's really helpful just to watch the problem be solved and not have to worry about writing things down at the same time. All right, guys, go ahead and make sure you've got your notes down written for this one, and then there's one more video about dividing rationals for your notes for this week.